Hi. So I've had a lot of people ask me about potty training the twins, and probably because I was posting about it on social media. Um, Otherwise, no one would have even bothered. But I already responded to a couple of people, and it was just a lot of typing, and I probably could have copy pasted it, but then it's a lot of reading also. And I understand that as a parent, sometimes it's just too much. So if you're watching this, put it on 2x. You can probably watch it quickly that way or listen to it while you're doing things. Potty training the twins was a really intense process for us. We stuck with our gut. We had a lot of people, specifically their daycare, tell us that they are ready to potty train back in July. So at that point, they weren't even 2 yet. They were, I don't know, I can't do math right now, 18 months probably, around there. So we weren't ready yet, and we knew that they weren't ready yet. And I also had other people in my family that potty trained a little bit earlier than two, and they kind of ended up prolonging the process a little bit. And we definitely knew that we did not want to do that. So I stuck to my gut, and we did not listen to their daycare teachers on this. And we kind of pushed back a little bit about it. We waited until they were two, and between July and the time that they were two, there were a lot of times that the twins ended up in the bathroom with me. They're toddlers, right? They just follow you around and they're always like, "Mummy, mummy," or "Daddy, daddy." So anytime that we were going, we were always like breaking it down for them and like what we're doing. Like, we're going pee pee, we're going poo poo, we're gonna wipe now, we're gonna flush now, and wash hands now. And so they would love, like, they honestly loved saying bye bye poo poo, bye bye pee pee. And it was kind of weird, funny, cute, all at the same time. They're toddlers, right? And so when we were finally ready to potty train, we knew we wanted to make sure that we had at least 3 to 4 days of a holiday or something to do it. So originally I was going to do it around Thanksgiving time, but I'm like, no, let's just push it. And part of that, honestly, was my mom. She potty trained not only me and my sister, but she also potty trained two of my cousins. So I knew I wanted her on my team for this. And so I had asked her to come during Thanksgiving to help me potty train the kids. And she's like, well, I just can't. And she's like, the next time I can probably come is around December or January. I'm like, that's perfect because they'll be on holiday break. So we started the process, me and Minish, on. We were supposed to start Christmas Day, and I was just like, I'm wiped from all the things that we were doing before that. So we started the day after Christmas. And then my mom came on January 1st until January 5th. And then January 6th, the kids started daycare. And then we also knew that the daycare helps us with potty training, and so we knew that that was part of of our potty training timeline as well. So some of the things that we also did ahead of time to prepare were lots of books, potty training books. So some of these I got from Minish's cousins, like Pottysaurus, or my sister gave me these Once Upon a Potty books by Alana Franklin or Frankel, and this is one for boy and one specifically for girl. I also bought. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna fall over. I also bought a couple other books like Let's Go to the Potty. Miss Rachel came out with a potty training book. It I think it hit the market on January 6th, so I actually had to pre-order it. It came in the mail on January 7th for us, so we were like well done the potty training process at home, but they still like reading the book and they still like looking at it, and I think it's going to help them to like make sure they're not having accidents still going forward. Some other stuff we did to prep our house, because if you know Minish, he always has been like OCD clean. Obviously with kids, if I turn the camera around, it's a zoo in here with toys and things all over. So that's not the case anymore, but we're still a little bit germophobic. So we removed all of the rugs that we had anywhere, and we have two rooms that are carpeted downstairs. Our stairs that are carpeted are gated off. The Monday room that we have carpeted, we gated that off. And then our office room was pretty much off limits. We would just lock the door so that they're not going in there. Even doing all of that, they still managed to have one accident on each carpet spot at once. So it's extremely tough. And then you just kind of have to say it's okay, because you don't want to scare them or freak them out or whatever. But yeah, like even our front, I think this is our front or back rug right here. I rolled it up and I just kind of tucked it away. Our main rug was rolled up. And then on our couches, we are planning on purchasing new couches. These couches are almost 10 years old now, but despite that, we're still using them every day. So we put the motel comforters on them. If you know motel comforters, they're like that nylon-y material. And so Minish's aunt had given us comforters from her motels years ago, and we still keep them because in case we have pujas and gatherings and stuff, it's like really easy to just lay out on our tile floors so that people have something comfortable to sit on. So we put those on top of the couches, just in case they sat on the couch and they had an accident. It was just easy to clean. Thank God none of those accidents happened. But it was just prep just in case they did, so we weren't totally freaked out. We also had lots of Clorox. This is my second Clorox container. My first one, we finished it. And then I think we went through like one whole roll of paper towels too during the whole process. We pretty much followed that 3-day potty training situation that a lot of parents do now. So the first 3 days was no underpants, no pants. It was like they were butt naked walking around the house. And so it was kind of funny at first, but you get used to it. And day one, every half hour to 45 minutes, we were asking them if they wanted to go potty and if they wanted to go pee pee or poo poo. And we would just take them every 45-ish minutes. We were taking them and putting them on the potty. The potties that we bought were, because they were so used to us going in there and always like closing the lid and flushing and saying bye-bye poo-poo, bye-bye pee-pee, we skipped the small kids potties that you see that they can kind of like pick up and move. We skipped that. I guess it's like a transition potty. And we went straight to the adult potties that have like the seat attachment. So we changed out our seats so that we have like the double seat. And so they can have a lid and their seat, and then underneath their seat is our seat. So, and then we also bought like a step stool that they can climb onto and sit on the potty. I think it worked well because they've already had the exposure to that potty, and so they weren't scared of the flush sound or anything like that. One thing that was a little bit, I'd say, I don't want to say annoying, but different was that all of the potty books, a lot of them say like, I can't remember this one, but I know these two Alana Frankel books, and I know the Miss Rachel potty book. They all say like we're gonna go dump the PP into the potty now because these use the transitional potties. Same concept, and they don't know how to read, so sometimes we would just like make it up and tell them like they're gonna go on the potty, and we just kind of skip that page where they're dumping it. So yeah, lots of exposure before you're ready to start. I highly recommend that so that they're not scared. They know the process of what to do. And then the first 3 days are pantsless, and taking them every 45 minutes about and putting them on there and just waiting about 10 minutes until they actually go. Shanti was very quick, and they always say boys are later than girls. However, the daycare told us back in July, like Bottom was definitely ready to go potty on the toilet because his friends had already started. And so we were expecting and almost rooting for him to be done before Shanti, but it was true what the stereotype is, and boys do take longer than girls. Lots and lots of patience, and there were a lot of moments where Manish and I just had to step away, and like the other one had to fill in because we were just like done, like had it up to here. After day 3 is when I introduced the potty training charts. Until then, I did not introduce any reward system at all. It was just like simple high fives or yay or great job. And part of that was because the potty training charts weren't here yet, and part of it was because I didn't want to make it completely reward based so that they're only expecting to go potty because of rewards, and that honestly did happen. So the first day 3 of potty training is when I introduced the potty charts, and that same day, Shanti, like the reward thing was like in her. So what we did was each of the kids had their own chart. These are on Amazon, and I'll link these. But this one is like dinosaur based, so for bottom, and then this one has like unicorns for Shanti. And there's, I don't know, 7 or 8 spots. And then there's a lot of these little magnetic stars. So these are magnetic. We hung these in our tech center. And so and the main potty we used was the powder room down here. And every time they would come out, then if they were successful in peeing or pooing on the toilet, we would give them all 5 stars. Shanti, at first, when we introduced this, she thought that she can just go in there, sit on the potty, not do her business, and come out and still get stars. So that's why we were like, only if you go pee or poo, you get the stars. So it's an all or nothing situation. So she would basically go, and then we would come out, and if she did her business, we would say, okay, 1 star because you said you needed to go potty, 1 star because you sat on the potty, and we would let her put the stars on. 1 star because you went pee or poo, 1 star because you wiped and flushed with a parent's help, and 1 star because you washed hands. So every single time she would actually go, we would make sure that we were doing all of these steps with her. And then when she would come out, it was like reiteration of all the steps that she did. And I'm saying she, but honestly, it was her and bottom. And then anytime they would go, they would get all the stars. So that's like a little reward and boost. And then we reserved stickers, which also came with the chart. Where did the stickers go? There were stickers that came with the charts in the Amazon kit. And I don't know where I put them. You can tell I'm not a content creator professionally because I'm not organized with this at all. Oh, right here. This is, Shanti already went through all of her stickers, but they came with like 1 sleeve of stickers, and bottoms was dinosaur stickers, and I think Shanti's was like these Hello Kitty bunny situation looking stickers. They're like a little puffy, so they're good quality. They're not gonna ruin your furniture if they accidentally stick to furniture because they come off really easily, which is great. So they would only get stickers if they were successful with going poo on the potty. They wouldn't get stickers if they went potty or pee. The other point they would get a sticker is if they filled their entire potty chart for the day. So Shanti many times filled her entire potty chart in a single day, and sometimes almost got close to filling it twice in a day. So that's kind of why she ran out of the stickers earlier. And like I said, she figured out the reward system very quickly, like way too quickly. And then Bottom, he would not go pee or poo as much or as often as Shanti did. So his stars would go to like maybe 2/3 or 3/4 of the way through. Another thing, so after day 3, I think day 4 is when I introduced underwear for Shanti because she was ready at that point. And then I think the first day she had 1 accident in her underwear, but these are super thick, like the training underwear. And then my sister-in-law had given me her leftover pull-ups. So those pull-ups, we used those only for nap time. And the only reason we used pull-ups for nap time is because I was lazy and I didn't want to have to wash their sheets if they ended up making a mess during nap time. So the like 2 hours, they would wear a pull-up. And then when they woke up, as soon as they woke up, we would put them on the potty and then straight to underwear for the rest of the day. Nighttime, we would put them in their regular overnight diapers. Through the holiday, there was a few times where Shanti would wake up from nap time and or from bedtime even, or like the whole night with dry pull up or dry diaper. So I know she's much already like advanced and she's probably ready to kick her nap time diaper, I mean her overnight diaper very quickly. And then for bottom, anytime I introduced his they're like the boy version, but same thing. But anytime I would introduce his, he would pee in his diaper. So we would go back. So we would try like half a day of underwear, and if he was making like accidents every time, then we would like just go back to going pantsless for him. Um, the other thing with bottom is with Shanti also in the beginning, I had to look at her cues, not for the pee, but for the poo, and I know her poo face. So the first time, I think first or second time, also I had to like make sure I was watching them like hawks the entire time. And if I saw any of the cues, then I would just like pick them up and take them. With bottom, especially, I really had to pay attention to his cues. He, what his poo cue was like going alone and standing in the corner, making his poo face. And then for his pee, he would like hold his privates. And that's when I knew, or like he would start doing his wiggle, and that's when I knew. And so I would like pick him up and take him. Having my mom around helped a lot because that means I could watch, and that's when Minish went back to work too. So I could watch both because one of the things that happened frequently because of twins is when Shanti's very competitive. She's a very competitive person. So anytime I would take bottom, she would be like, pee, 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 even if she didn't have to go, just because she wanted the attention. Um, and yeah, so that's pretty much how we did it. I would say the daycare portion helped a lot with bottom because and they're your teammates, yeah, right? So I actually, when they went back to daycare on Monday, I texted or I messaged the school and I said, "Hey, this is a situation with Shanti. She's done potty training. She's in her underwear and pants full time now. This is a situation with Bottom. He's kind of in underwear, but kind of not. He's still having accidents. You really have to watch for his cues. These are his cues." And so for the first 2 days, he pretty much went through all five of his underwears that we're sending to school. And then he would even go through some of Shanti's. Then after a few days, it was like less and less. And then on Friday, so basically a whole week, Friday he came back with the same pants that he wore to school. So daycare definitely helped, and I think a big portion of that, and we knew that this was going to happen because last year this happened with them walking as well. They weren't walking yet, even if they were 1 year old, and we weren't worried, but the daycare was worried. And then as soon as we switched them to the older classroom with walkers, other kids that were walking, they picked it up like instantly and they started walking. So we knew that the same situation was going to happen with this like new skill that they were learning. Is I think they're very peer oriented and they needed to see other kids doing it, especially Bottom. He needed to see other kids doing it, and so he picked it up very quickly. Friday, when he came home with the same pants on, I had bought these giant bears from our local grocery store. They were we have like those superstores, so they sell everything, clothes, toys, you name it. And I don't know how much they were during the holidays, but post holiday they had marked them down to like $13 for these giant bears. And I was like, great, this is the perfect reward. So literally for like 2 weeks, I was driving around with these bears in the car because I didn't bring them in. I don't know why. I could have brought them in and shoved them in a closet somewhere, but I didn't. So yeah, we gave these to them on Friday evening as their reward for being fully potty trained and no accidents at school that day. Will they still have accidents in the future? Probably. We haven't done long car rides with them yet, beyond just going to daycare. Even at like this week, like today, which is the first day, since we're still watching them like hawks, we're still asking them. There's constantly, even during the whole holiday process, every few minutes we were asking them, like, do you need to go pee pee? Do you need to go poo poo? Do you want to go potty? Or less question based and it was more command based, actually, to be honest. It was more, I think we were saying, please tell mama when you need to go pee pee. Tell mama when you want to go potty. Tell mama when you want to go poo poo. Tell daddy when you want to go pee pee. So it's like a command rather than a question. Now I think we've shifted to a question based, but in the beginning, the first 2 weeks, it was command based. And then I think that's all I have. Oh, okay. So on the potty, toilet paper is kind of weird, especially if they're sitting there for a long time and they're like, I need to go more. Stuff kind of starts drying up back there, if you know what I mean. So we bought these Cottonelle flushable wipes. Not sure what they're going to do to my plumbing system yet. We'll figure that out as we go. But we've been using these for them. They're not wiping on their own yet. We know that's a skill that comes later on. Shanti already tries because, like I said, she's a little bit further along than I think we're expected her to be. But regardless, we always help them. We help them wash their hands. They love using soap. They love drying their hands. So, yeah, good luck potty training. If you have any more questions or any questions on the products that we used, I'm going to link a lot of the stuff that I got from Amazon. I'll try to find a link to these bears or something similar, but I think as long as you're very dedicated, we did not go anywhere during the holidays. That period of like December 26th to January 5th, we did not leave the house at all with them because our goal was to make sure they're potty trained for daycare. Obviously, Bottom was not, but daycare helped him. But we got them as far as we could as parents. And I had to miss a lot of stuff because of that. And that's okay. I'm okay with it because at the end of the day, I knew what my goal was. And I accomplished our family goal of potty training in 2 weeks. So, yeah, good luck.